So for years, one of the most requested features from PlayStation fans has been the ability to change the PlayStation Network ID that you have. And currently, if you want to change your PlayStation name, you have to set up a brand new account, which of course means you're going to lose all your trophies and everything associated with that ID. Now, occasionally you do see some people who will argue that, look, it's these own people's fault. They shouldn't have made a gamer tag or something that they were going to regret later on in life. But of course, I mean, some of these tags have been around for years and years. And I mean, myself, I've had my Xbox gamer tag for like a decade. So thankfully, I didn't pick something that I ended up regretting, but some people do grow out of different phases, and whatever they chose at that one particular time in life, it's not something that they want to carry with them. Maybe you named yourself after a favorite video game character that hasn't been seen in several different years, and nobody even realizes who it is anymore. Or maybe you were a fan of Miley Cyrus when she was still at Disney and before she started showing her vajayjay to the world and twerking with her lizard tongue. Either way, some people would like to change their tags. So, what's the holdup? Well, it appears that trolls may be the reason for the delay. So, according to an interview with IGN, Sony America's president Sean Layden was asked about these features and more. He says the roadmap for feature extension is very long. Layden remarked when asked about not only changing one's PSN name, but about other often requested features like deleting unwanted trophies. He said, all those things are on there. Yeah, we want to give you more control across your experience and your profile and your presence on the network. At the same time, as you'll understand, we don't want to make it so that you can go in, grief a bunch of people in Far Cry, change your avatar, change your username, go into Call of Duty, and grief everybody over there. So we want to stop that. When IGN asked if that issue specifically, the risk of abuse, is what's holding up the feature being implemented, Layden answered in the affirmative. He said, we want to do name changing in a way that's transparent, but also don't want people to morph themselves either. And yeah, it's terrible that we have to make decisions on a service sometimes by optimizing around the bad actor. I hate that we have to do that. So we're trying to balance that between the 99% of users going to have a good experience. How can we help make that happen without giving one more tool to the bad actors to go in and ruin the experience for others? So Sony is saying that the reason you can't change your PlayStation name is because they're afraid people are going to abuse it while trolling. Now, I got to be honest with you. I'm a skeptic, just in nature. And I want to know, do you really think that that's the reason why Sony hasn't implemented name changes yet? And the reason I say that is this isn't the first time that this has been brought up. And I'm curious as to if trolls are just being used as a scapegoat right here. Because back in September of 2013, Yoshida was asked about this. And here's what he said, quote, "This is a very common request and I wish we could say yes, you can, but it's very technically complex." Which, of course, when you say technically complex, sounds a little bit more like programming and software complexities. Now, if the only concern is people abusing the system, it seems sort of like that would be an easy fix. Maybe that's why Xbox Live does their gamertag changes the way they do. With Xbox, if you create a gamertag, you can change it once within 30 days for free. After that, you have to pay $10 every time you want to change your tag. And this, of course, keeps people from constantly changing their names. I guess you could constantly change your name if you just like throwing money at Microsoft, but it's certainly a barrier that a lot of people aren't going to cross. It would also seem like it would be pretty easy to tie the accounts together so that if you were trolling or griefing somebody in a game and they reported your tag and that ID had been changed, looks like there would be some way to go back to see, okay, who did this ID belong to before it was changed. So I don't know. Regardless, I'm not a developer. I mean, I did make an A one time in a Visual Basics class, but I don't think that counts for anything. Either way, Sony is saying that it's still on the feature list, and they do hear from the fans who are constantly requesting it. So post below, let me know, what do you think? Do you think this is a technical issue, or is it because Sony wants to protect users from being trolled? Links down in the description box if you want to read more about it. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.